Hello, welcome to Joe of All Trades. I'm Joe, and I wanted to talk about my BC-250 steam machine build. About 6 months ago, my YouTube feed was filled with these janky $60, $100 steam machine builds, and I was instantly intrigued. Like many others, I was pretty hype about Valve's steam machine, and I had a few concerns about it. What was the price going to be? Okay, I had one concern about it was what was the price going to be. So seeing a $60 and $100 price tag definitely had me like, oh, let me see what this was all about. Not halfway through the video, I was already on eBay with a BC-250 in my cart. At the time, the prices for the BC-250 were about $120 just for the board itself. When it comes to any project, I'm a bit of a spreadsheet girly, so of course I opened a spreadsheet and started itemizing everything I would need for this build. And when I finished calculating how much my build would cost, I came out to about $460. Now, that's a bit far off from these $60 to $100 price points. While I am a bit of a tinkerer, I'm not one to have a bunch of extra PC parts sitting around, so I needed to buy everything to get this build to work. Here's what I needed to complete this build. Along with the BC-250, I needed a 300 watt PSU, a power switch, a Bluetooth adapter, a PS5 slim fan, a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, a 1TB M.2 drive, and a case. I found this 3D printed small form factor case on eBay made by OTEC Parts. Almost everything on this build list is currently priced at, around $5 or $10 from when I bought it about 6 months ago. The only thing that might be hard to find now would be the M.2 drive. Storage devices just like RAM have been inflated. The particular drive I got, which I thought was the cheapest one I could get at the time, is now ranging from $150 to $185. There might be some deals out there, but hopefully it's something that you would have laying around for yourself. If you clicked on this video, you might already know what a BC-250 board is, but in the most simple terms, a BC-250 board is a cut down PS5 APU. So basically the board is basically like an underpowered PS5. Here's my build. I really like this case. It's compact and portable. I wanted an option to travel with it or easily move it around the house. Overall, the console is pretty light. The inside is a mess of wires, but you couldn't tell from the outside. There were only a few tinkering hiccups. The pins on the switch needed to be moved around so that it would work properly with the PSU. While I'm pretty experienced with a bit of tinkering, it wasn't the most intuitive task for me personally. Additionally, with this compact 3D printed case, it was kind of hard to clean up the wires and get them all to fit within the case. Along with fitting all the wires in there, I had to also maintain the connection. So every once in a while I was putting it together, maybe the fan connector would fall out of place and then I would turn it on and the fans wouldn't be working. So that was a bit annoying, but eventually I got everything to settle in just fine. Speaking of the fan, this setup does not have PWM, so I'm not able to control the fan speeds manually. On the software side, of course, my machine is running Bazzite. There were some quirks to this in the install. When you're putting the software on your drive, you want to use USB 3.0 technology. If you decide on older USB technology, then your install is going to go very, very slowly. Another quirk to the install is once the installation gets going, the progress bar stops. It stops. It's frozen. It just doesn't move. But it's actually not frozen for some reason with Bazzite. The progress bar just stops and then all of a sudden it's finished. It did have me worried, but everything went fine from there. There is a YouTuber named Old Lamer. He has posted his journey with his steam machine build. I use his videos as guides to update my BIOS, change the VRAM allocation, and install GPU governors to increase my clocks to 2000 megahertz. His videos were integral to the completion of this build. I recommend following his videos if you need help. I paired my steam machine with my blue Xbox controller. I do tend to use Xbox controllers when hooked up to a PC or console, even though I love the DualSense. It's usually just easier to work with. I'm excited for the release of the Steam controller, so I have an all-in-one solution for gaming in desktop mode in Bazite SteamOS. Now, let's get into the gaming performance. This is a great 1080p machine. My TV isn't too fancy, so I play at 30 or 60 FPS depending on the fan noise. In general, the PS5 Slim fan was able to keep the temps below 65 degrees Celsius. I completed Detroit Become Human at a locked 30 FPS because there would be significant dips in FPS that would take me out of the game. The BC-250 easily crushes games like Hollow Knight and Silksong at 60 FPS. I played some Ready or Not with the Steam Deck preset and maintained 60 FPS. And I'll tell you what, a suspect hates to see me coming. Hogwarts Legacy and Guardians of the Galaxy maintain 60 FPS performance. Currently I'm finishing up Days Gone and I've started Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Both of these games get the fan going. Days Gone did experience some dips on FPS mode with all the zombies and motorcycle riding, but at 30 frames per second it was pretty steady. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is probably the hardest game I've thrown at the machine. The fan makes considerable effort to cool the system, which really ups the noise factor. To lower the noise, I use the game's built-in FSR features. It's not my favorite solution because I find it to be slightly blurry at times, but I find the game to still be enjoyable from the couch. In my opinion, this project is worth pursuing. I really enjoyed figuring this build out and tweaking the software. If you've been looking into building a PC for your living room and you like a project, then I highly recommend that you give this build a try. It does what I needed to do. I was, and still pretty much am, a diehard PS5 gamer who converted into a PC gamer. So getting the console-like experience with my Steam library is a huge deal. If you've made it this far, consider subscribing and leaving a like on this video. I have a lot of tech-related content coming up. Up next is my 6-month experience with my Batch 1 AYN Thor. If you're digging the space, give my studio transformation video a watch. I really appreciate your time today. It means a lot to me. Thanks for watching.